Good day and welcome to the dining room table. New York City Mayor's press briefing, National Migrant Crisis Update. Subscribe, like, and share. So I did a video before regarding President Biden not communicating with New York City Mayor Eric Adams, other U.S. mayors and governors regarding the need of aid um, because of the migrant crisis. And in this video, New York City Mayor Eric Adams is being asked, listen, you've been to Washington, D.C. 10 times. You have not spoken to President Biden in about a year. You have a major migrant crisis. You have to cut funding. Why do you think the president's office, is not speaking to you and not helping you? And let's hear his response.
I am baffled, that why they're not seeing Washington on the whole. And oftentimes people talk about the Biden administration, but I'm critical of Congress as well. New York City, as I said, that we're the economic engine of this country and state. I don't believe any of these cities should be going through this. I don't have the answer. And I think that's the answer that we need to turn towards Washington. And that's why I talk about New York City residents, that we need to go visit our lawmakers there and say, what's going on here? And we had this slow process of educating New York City residents because many people thought that Eric was in charge of the buses coming in, that Eric was in charge of deportation, that Eric was in charge of making sure that we house. We are operating within the law. And I believe that all New Yorkers should join us in saying this should not be happening in New York City. But I don't have the answer there.
Sort of the culture of the city is the mayor is responsible.
Yes.
Your argument is Washington's responsible. The polls seem to show voters aren't buying your argument. Why do you think that is?
Well, because when you really think about it, and I'm responsible for navigating us out of this. I want to be clear on that. I do not abdicate my responsibility as the mayor, no matter what the city's hit with. I'm responsible for navigating us out of it. These are the cards that I have been dealt, and I can't sit back and say, well, hey, if I had another card. No, these are my cards. And part of my role as the mayor is to keep pounding those who should be giving us the assistance that we deserve. And when you looked at this, the complexity of this, many New Yorkers didn't get it. I have communicated with some very intelligent New Yorkers. When I sat down and I have dinner or meet them on the subway or talk with them, they said, wait a minute, I didn't know that you can't stop the buses from coming in. I didn't know that because of some of the laws that we have in this city, that you don't have the authority to even deport people who are arrested 4 and 5 times. I didn't know that you can't do this or that. A lot of New Yorkers, if you go on the street and ask them, they don't have the answers to the questions.
And we want to know, why isn't President Biden speaking to these U.S. mayors? Why isn't he speaking to the mayor of New York City? New York City is the economic engine of the whole country. He has not spoken to President Biden in a year.
They don't know that our hands are tied. You show up at our Port Authority or through the JFK airport, we have to.
Okay. An American citizen can go to another country with a U.S. passport, come back to America, and have to go through so much checkpoints as an American citizen with a U.S. passport, but yet the border, people are just coming in. That's another question we have to ask.
Provide them services, and the average New Yorker did not know that. And part of our job is to articulate to them so they can take the same anger I'm feeling and they can point it in a direction that is ought to.
I would also add, Mayor, to the point that the mayor made earlier, for the first year of this whole crisis, we did nothing but just ask for help and not say a word of offer a word of criticism. And it's only after we started, being honest about the criticism, is that when we started receiving allocations of funding and other resources. So,
can I do a friendly?
So it sounds like he's saying that because they had to criticize is why they started getting some funding, but it's just not enough because more asylum seekers are coming in daily. Thousands are coming in, I believe, a month, and they have to find housing and food and laundry and schooling and coats.
Can I just do a friendly amendment? We didn't just ask for help. We managed the crisis at the time while we were asking for help.
Right.
We did both things. I just want everybody to know we didn't just sit back and say, can you help us? Can you help us? We build an asylum arrival center. We build a legal clinic. We are working on resettlement with other states. We're gathering other cities together. So all of that was happening at the same time. 3,000 people coming through the front door, and we advocated for more resources.
You know, they're talking about the migrant crisis, and needing aid from Washington D.C. But for the New York City mayor to go to Washington D.C. to speak to the president's office and not get a response, not just for this crisis, but if you hear my other videos, because the FBI has put out terrorist warnings, they should be having conversations with each other. Stay tuned.